Turning overseas, shooting, looting, and setting off fires is now the scene in Ferguson, Missouri. The chaos erupted after a grand jury decided not to charge a white police officer for fatally shooting an unarmed black teenager. The news also triggered pockets of outrage across the United States.
They determined that no probable cause exists to file any charge against Officer Wilson.
That announcement triggered anarchy on the streets of Ferguson. Gunshots rang out and police fired tear gas to push back angry crowds. But it was all in vain. Anger boiled over and protesters began knocking over barricades where police in riot gear stood their ground. Rioters started pelting police with objects while screaming and calling them murderers. At least a dozen buildings were set on fire. They also torched a battery of cars. People waving guns were seen running wild on the streets. Despite their profound disappointment, the family of victim Michael Brown and President Barack Obama called for calm.
But I join Michael's parents in asking anyone who protests this decision to do so peacefully.
The disgusted masses truly believe a trigger-happy white police officer just got away with murdering an unarmed black teenager. But a mixed black and white grand jury disagreed. They determined Officer Darren Wilson had just cause to shoot 18-year-old Brown this past August, a decision authorities insist should be respected.
They are the only people who have heard and examined every witness and every piece of evidence.
The governor of Missouri assured residents they're trying to keep the peace.
The men and women of the National Guard will also be in the area to provide security at critical facilities.
But there was no semblance of peace. In between the clashes of protesters and police, storefront windows were smashed in and looters helped themselves. Across the nation, thousands of people express outrage over the news, but they exercise restraint in cities like Los Angeles, New York, and Chicago. Sonya, Artero, TVB News.